Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, everyone. My name is Suryo Mentaram. Today, I'm going to presentate about my on-the-job training, or as known as internship, or as known as Kerja Praktek in Indonesia, at PT Sinergi Engineering. My practical work supervisor is Mr. Yudan Wulanza, and next, I'm going to show you my overview of this presentation. The first one is the objectives, as you can see, company profile, main topic, case study, activity done, and the conclusion. Next, okay. During the time I spent for my internship from the period of 17 June to 9 August 2019, I was able to fulfill and gain several objectives, which are to gain work experience before facing actual working condition, understanding work system and organization in a company, develop in-depth knowledge and skills in a certain discipline within the consultancy service, and being able to contribute and deliver for certain project. Next is the company profile of PT Sinergi Engineering. PT Sinergi Engineering is an engineering consultant company, and it has been active since 2007 in energy sector, offering complete engineering lifecycle requirements of a project. The core business units consist of engineering, natural gas, power, renewable, and construction. The address of PT Synergy Engineering is at Nusa Loka, Block C1, number 3, Sector 14, number 4, BSD City, Tangerang Selatan, Banten, Indonesia. I conduct my internship under the Pipeline, Subsea, and Marine Engineering Department. So there, the main function of the department is to provide comprehensive engineering solutions for subsea and onshore production systems, from wells to shipping facilities. The hierarchy of pipeline department consists of HOD, head of department, senior engineer, acting as lead, mid engineer, junior engineer, designer, and intern, which is myself. The head of department, also acting as my internship supervisor, is Mr. Yusuf Sopian. The main topic of my internship is to understand phase span analysis and the importance of it in pipeline discipline. The second one is how to calculate phase span analysis by translating the code to spreadsheet. And the third one is to replicate phase span analysis calculation in MATCAD software from the previous project. So, what are phase span analysis? First, we need to know what is a span. A span is formed when a pipeline, as you can see here, bridges across a depression in the seabed. When the contact between the pipeline and a seabed is lost over a significant distance on a rough seabed. Phase span can result in failure of pipelines and interference with human activities. That is why we need to do the phase span analysis. The phase span analysis was performed to determine the maximum allowable span length that will not cause static and fatigue failure of the pipeline. And here is, as you can see, this is the flowchart of phase span analysis calculation according to code DNVGL RPF105. As you can see here, start, phase span data and characteristics, scaling according to code RPF105. If it is still not okay, fatigue RPF105. If it's still not okay, go back here to span interpolation data analysis. If it is okay, come here to ULS check, which is ultimate limit state check for the RPF105 code and OSF101. If it is okay, then we should stop. Okay, this is the software that I use to calculate the phase span analysis. MATCAD. PTC MATCAD is a comprehensive application that can be used to perform engineering calculation. Below we can see the example usage of MATCAD, calculating inside diameter of the pipe and its wall thickness shown at the following figure. So you can see here, this is the input data, Q, V for velocity, P for pressure, delta T for tensile stress, and CST for constant for steel pipe. And we can do it right here, the calculation. D equals to 0.165 meter, wall thickness of pipe equals to 5.944 millimeter. Next, this is the case study. So the company client plans to add the gas supply for the final unit via existing facilities. As part of the development strategy, engineer PT Synergy Engineering is engaged to perform basic engineering for several platforms. The basic engineering scope includes one new pipeline to be connected between platform A and platform B. The case study covers the analysis of allowable phase span for the 10-inch pipeline from platform A to platform B laid on seabed. The offshore pipeline span analysis is performed using the FLS fatigue limit state criteria based on the NVGR PF105 and the ULS ultimate limit state criteria based on the NVGL STF101 for the pipeline during installation, hydro test, and operating condition. So I might remind you again that this project is already done, and my job there is to replicate the phase span analysis calculation using MATCAD. Next, we can see here, this is the MATCAD calculation tabulated from what I did. And you can see here, this is the maximum allowable span length. The OD is the outside diameter of pipe. This is the wall thickness. This is the water depth, minimum water depth. The conditions are installation, water field, hydro test, and operating. This is the kilometer point of it. So we can see here, this is the maximum allowable span length for VIV avoidance criteria. VIV is vortex induced vibration avoidance criteria. So we can see here, this is the maximum allowable span length. Next is the result of allowable span analysis for fatigue limit state criteria. The same with pipeline conditions, same kilometer points, different values of course. Next is the result of allowable span analysis for ULS or as known as ultimate limit state criteria. This is the maximum allowable span length, as we can see here. So all of the calculation is done using MATCAD. Then it is tabulated to Excel, and I show it here. Next, this is the weekly activity done in my practical work or my internship. So at the first week, the description, I adapt to new environment of work, attend meeting with vendor, instructed to learn about document control, document check from fellow employee, and procedural documents. At the second week, I learned Saffron project development and execution process (CPDEP), front-end loading, gain knowledge on deliverable documents in each engineering phase, learn symbol and legends in PNID. In the third week, I gain knowledge of design of underwater pipeline, particularly on bottom spillability, global buckling, cathodic protection, phase span analysis. And then I consult to Mr. Yusuf as my internship coordinator to decide which topic to focus on for particular report. In the fourth week, I decided to focus in phase span analysis after consulting with Mr. Yusuf, and I learned the basics of MATCAD and were asked to create simple spreadsheet by advisor. In the fifth week, I learned the DNVGL RPF105 code, recommended practice for free span analysis. Then I was given a study case from PT Synergy Engineering of allowable span analysis. At the sixth week, I was able to replicate the spreadsheet calculation from the given case study, as I've been presenting in the previous slide, and I was able to complete the application of Appendix 2 free span analysis VIV avoidance section criteria using MATCAD software. And in the seventh week, I am continuing to replicate the calculation, and I was able to replicate the Appendix 3 free span analysis scanning fatigue criteria using MATCAD software. And in the final week, at the 8th week, I was able to create structure chart of pipeline discipline using Excel software, and I started to write my practical work report. Then there are final assessment by Mr. Yusuf Sofian as advisor and head of department, and he assessed me in the practical work book report. This is several documentation, and this is me doing the finger absent. And then this is my PT Synergy Engineering card for access to live access, and this is my laptop and personal computer there given by PT Synergy Engineering for my internship there. Okay, so after conducting my on-the-job training or kerja praktek at PT Synergy Engineering, precisely at pipeline division, I have completed the objectives and gained experience in number one, understanding the working process, work ethics, and environment in a company in general. The second one is understanding the structure of leadership in pipeline division of PT Synergy Engineering. Number three, that I am able to understand the phenomenon of free span in subsea pipeline and able to replicate allowable span calculation using MATCAD software. Number four, I was able to gain new software skill of using MATCAD for engineering calculation, replacing regular spreadsheets such as Microsoft Excel. That is all from me. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.